What is going on, guys? My name is Damien. Welcome back. Bringing you some thoughts and opinions on The Vampire Diaries Season 6 and, of course, Season 7. So, Nina Dobrev, who is the main character of the show, she plays Elena. She posted on Instagram and officially announced that she's leaving the show at the end of Season 6. Now, this isn't surprising in a lot of ways because there's been a lot of talk about her and potentially other characters leaving, not wanting to renew contracts and things like that. So here's the problem with this. With her announcing that she's leaving, there's only so many things that could really happen as far as the story is concerned. Realistically, she's going to take the cure and she's going to leave. Now, that's that's a problem. That's a problem because you have built this show behind the idea that, at least for the last two seasons, that Damon and Elena basically is the direction that you're going in. Now, I've said this in many videos and I've said it for years, but I've never been a big fan of Damon and Elena. But at the same time, you wrote the show in that direction, so you're going to end Damon and Elena right now. I mean, it's over. There's no doubt it's over. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's done. So I know a lot of people are going to be upset, and they're definitely going to be upset. It's just the end of Damon and Elena, and it's best to accept it right now than to even think there's any hope because officially she's gone from the show, so there's nothing you can really do. There's no more. So, what does that mean? Why is it a problem? Well, you've built Damon and Elena as biased as I thought it was, and as poor as the writing has been as far as them coming together. You built the show on the fact that the two of them were going to be together realistically. There was no reason why they shouldn't be together with the direction that the show is going. Now, after you do this, you now take it all away. Now, if you're a Damon and Elena fan, you're going to be really upset about this. And this is the problem I have, and this is where I can kind of, or where I'd want to defend Damon and Elena fans, because you don't do that. You don't do that in TV shows because it frustrates people a lot. And they feel like they've watched the show for no reason, kind of like how I felt with Gossip Girl. And I don't even tell people that I watched that show because the show is bad enough as it is. It's bad enough that I'm a guy that watches it, a straight guy that watches it, whatever. But I try to, whenever I start a TV show, I try to finish it. And now with the Vampire Diaries, it's going to be really strange without Elena there, because even though I have personally found her character to be annoying a lot of times, and it's not because of her acting or anything like that, it's just the writing. Caroline Dries is not a very good writer, and that's just the way it is. But nevertheless, here we are. There's nothing we can do about it. It's over. So if you were hopeful for Stefan and Elena, that's done. Officially, I mean, there's nothing that could ever happen. And Damon and Elena is over. Now, what is going to happen is Bonnie and Damon are probably going to be the endgame for this show. And you guys need to prepare for that if you're going to watch Season 7. Because nothing will be, or nothing will annoy people more than seeing people who already know their ship has officially ended still watching the show to complain about Bonnie and Damon. All you need to do is just to stop watching the show. And I imagine a lot of people will stop watching the show because usually a relationship was kind of what kept people into a show, or it's not really, a lot of people weren't really too into certain stories. They just liked seeing the relationships. Now, if there's no Damon and Elena, then I can't see a lot of people watching the show, because it's one thing when you know there's a hope that they could potentially get back together, but when we're at this point now where she's officially gone from the show and the contract is like, that's it, you know that there's nothing anyone can do. When they're all in the show, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, things could change and then all of a sudden they're back together. But Damon and Elena has been a massive disappointment. I have said that since they got together. I didn't like the way they got together. I didn't like anything about their relationship. I still have yet to be convinced. And now they're going to be over. They're going to break up. I imagine she's going to take the cure, walk away from him. Human Elena never chose him in the first place. And I think that's always been the biggest flaw of Damon and Elena, is that she never chose him when she was human. So yes, she chose him when she's a vampire, but she's not thinking the same. She also went through the whole sire and everything like that. And even though she did have feelings for him as a human, because the show was inevitably written that way, they changed things. I don't really care what anyone else has to say. It was always Stefan and Elena. So They just changed the writing of the show to send her Damon's way, which is completely fine. But to end it this way, I'm really going to be interested to see how they actually say their goodbyes. I think that's going to be the best part, because she's going to say goodbye to Stefan and Damon, and that scene will no doubt be interesting. But it's disappointing in many ways, because a lot of people, when they saw the Cure come into play, people even got hopeful if they were a Stefan and Elena fan. I mean, it was definitely a possibility, and for her to announce that she's leaving, well, that's disappointing in many ways, because I don't know what they're gonna do in season 7. It's always gonna be weird if she's not there. It's just not gonna feel the same. I love Candice Accola, no doubt. I think I've said this before. I think she's the most attractive girl on the show, but she just can't. I don't think she's gonna be. I don't know how well she's gonna fit into that lead role. And obviously, Kat Graham, Bonnie, she's gonna have to step up. They're gonna basically adjust the roles a little bit, and characters are gonna take on more responsibility of screen time and so on. Elena has always been kind of carrying it with the Salvatore brothers, and I mean, I guess that's really it. There's nothing else you can really do. All I can say is that if I could go back in time and tell my younger self to not watch The Vampire Diaries, or tell myself how it was going to turn out, I wouldn't have actually watched the show. I would have stopped. So, whenever you hear that, you know that a show actually isn't really that good. There's shows that I've watched that I still talk about to this day, that are over, that have been over, shows that are like really really good, and the show definitely won't be one of them when it ends, sadly, because there's nothing they can really do right now to impress me as far as storylines are concerned, other than Bonnie and Damon. That's about the only thing left for the show. And if they do Bonnie and Damon, it'll be interesting to see how it happens, how they come together. But just like Caroline and Stefan, I will always feel like Damon is settling, unless there's some like really declarative dialogue where he realizes, just how did he not notice her before, or something like that, or whatever the case may be, because I'll always feel like he's settling depending on the way they end David and Elena. So we'll see how it all turns out. Let me know what you guys think. Don't dislike the video just because David and Elena is over. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Share your thoughts and opinions. Disliking the video does nothing. Leave a like if you're new. Subscribe for more videos. And I will talk to you guys later. My name is Damien, and I do have sympathy for any Damien and Elena fan out there. It's got to be difficult for you guys right now, so we'll see how it all plays out. See you guys later.